We know Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, and Vixen. We know Santa, the elves, the tree, and the lights. But there are a few things about Christmas you might not consider or maybe even really know why. Dr. Joe Walsh with Loyola University is in this morning to highlight some of these Christmas facts. And a good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
How are things going so far?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Now, some of the facts and some of the history and traditions of Christmas, there are stories behind the stories, aren't there?
There are a million, and sometimes they contradict each other, but there's plenty of...
Which is most contradictory?
Well, there's even a controversy about who wrote "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." And there are two different claimants. The most common one you hear is Clement Clark Moore. But there's also a fellow in Poughkeepsie whose family to this day maintains he's the one who wrote the poem and that Clement Clark Moore stole the credit for it. So even who wrote that, we're not sure.
Controversy over Christmas.
Yes.
People cannot get along for any reason, any time of year. One of the more common questions, I know this one's been posed to you before, was Scrooge a real person?
You know, it's not so much that Scrooge was based upon a real person. It's that Charles Dickens, about a decade before, in his Pickwick Papers, wrote a prototype. And the character there was a guy named Gabriel Grubb, who was a gravedigger, and a grumpy old gravedigger. And he's going to dig a grave Christmas Eve, and he sees a little kid singing a Christmas carol, so he hits him on the head with his lantern, has a good laugh. Then when he goes to dig his grave, a bunch of goblins appear, and they drag him down into the underworld and show him another family of people who actually love Christmas and a warm, welcoming family celebrating the holiday with a little boy who winds up dying. And then he goes back to Earth at the end of all of this and becomes a different person. And in fact, what happened is that story was very successful within the novel, so later on, Dickens decided essentially, I'm going to write a whole novel about it. Goblins gone, ghosts are in, right. Gravedigger out, greedy businessman in.
And told only the way Charles Dickens can tell a story.
Oh,
like
it's
that.
wonderful. And the Gabriel Grubb is wonderful too.
Excellent. What gets someone of your background into this? Because it seems like the knowledge base for this, there's a fun in there's some entertainment value in learning this, isn't there?
Oh, it's infinitely stimulating, and it's about everything. There's really nothing in our world that isn't affected by Christmas in some way or other. There's no aspect of Christmas that hasn't been affected by people's dreams and aspirations and economy and politics. You even have a Christmas truce during World War I amidst the trenches and all. So it's as interesting as anything there is, and it's fun.
The sides climbed out of the trenches and played soccer for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. Sang carols together.
Yes, they did.
And then, unfortunately, when word got out about this, some of the officers had some of the ringleaders executed.
Yes, they did.
End of Christmas fun.
Has there been any Christmas story or true tale or fact that has in any way bothered you? Other than the Gabriel Grubb, because that one's one that just keeps on giving every year.
Yeah, no, Gabriel Grubb I absolutely love. There's often a sort of disturbing side to all sorts of things. I mean, even something like we complain about commercialism at Christmas, which is perfectly understandable. I'm going to do some shopping after this, and so I'll be grumbling myself.
Give me commercialism.
I'll do. But the idea that this is a new thing is something you run into again and again. Early into the 19th century already, people are shopping, people are hawking goods. In Philadelphia, they're making big chocolate lobsters and cockroaches to sell in the Christmas season. And folks are already complaining about it. So the sense that it's been corrupted lately, that just isn't really true. It's sort of been corrupt in one way or another for decades and centuries.
All right, Dr. Joe Walsh with Loyola University, thank you for the time and happy holidays.
Well, thank you. Same to you.
We're going to have this on our website, abc2news.com, for you a little bit later, and maybe he'll even let you audit his course. Megan?